is such a beautiful, rainy, gloomy day. Who can agree? We all have, hey, us mothers, we still rolled out of bed and woke up, got dressed.
Did our hair in this rain.
Did our hair in this rain. So, I mean, I straightened it. You're wow, you guys look amazing.
It'll go down.
It'll go down in a second.
Oh, yeah.
So, meaning, we want to thank each and every one of you for joining in. If you're going to join in or if you're going to watch it a little bit later, this is going to be a rock star podcast. I'm super excited to have these women here, these rock star women who are going to kick it down to us today on a scale of being able to do what we do. And that's being what? A mom, a wife, a wifey. And we all have multiple children. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and explain a little bit about ourselves, who's here with us today, joining our wonderful afternoon on talking about all these wonderful pillars in our lives. We have Miss Melissa Urbina, Araceli Contreras, and Angela Galvan. Thank you, girls, so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Out of your busy schedule, and I know it was a last minute, and we're going to be talking about calendar and what's important to schedule and what's not important to schedule. Why did you choose to come today? How did you
flexibility? We fit everything in. We manage things. You know, mothers have to be very flexible, and in the real estate world, you have to be flexible. So, you know, I know we scheduled it yesterday, and then we're like, maybe it's today, maybe so, maybe last month, but you know, we fit it in eventually. But
thank you so much, Melissa. How long have you been tell us just a little bit about yourself, how long you've served the El Paso community as an entrepreneur, and just a little insight on your family.
Okay, well, Melissa Urbina, and I've been in real estate for about now 19 years. I got into it back in 2002, started Century 21, and then worked my way through right now at Home Pros. And started my little group, the Soul World Real Estate Group. So me and I have a partner, Ruben Gonzalez, and we were those two. And I'm honored to be serving the real estate community. If anything, I mean, that's part of the passion. And I have my family at home, who is part of the, I'd like to say, the part of the business. And my husband, brother of 3, soccer mom as well. That's where we know each other, a lot of us in the soccer community. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, but I wouldn't touch anything in the world.
So it's been a challenge. And we'll get to that point when it comes to the kids, okay? And Araceli, tell us who you are, how long you've been serving, how many kids do we all have? I want us all to round them up at the end together. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Araceli Contreras. I've been in the business for 3 years. It's been awesome. I love it. I love helping all these families get into their dream homes.
Yeah.
Of course, this is a family thing just because I depend on my kids, on my husband, to be able to function in the real estate world. I do have 5 kids.
Yes.
5 kids, all ages, ranging from 28 to 12. I do have grandbabies. I have 3 grandbabies. I'm a grandmother of 2, 1 on the way next month.
Andale, you see, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. That's a nice family. Angela.
I'm Angela Galvan. I have been a real estate agent for 3 years now as well. We started about the same time. I have 2 boys, again, soccer mom. That's where I know some of these ladies from. Before that, I was a nurse for over 10 years in this community. And I love helping people. And so this was a perfect stepping stone kind of to my next chapter of my life. But yeah, 3 years and it's gone by so fast.
Yeah, amazing. So if you guys all know, there's a lot of years here, and as we're learning, as we're growing, we've all put into some type of formula when it comes to our day. I as well have been serving for 15 years now next month, and I have 4 kids, 3 daughters, 1 son, and I'm a soccer mom as well, and married to Edgar Owedo, who's behind the scenes. He's our director today. So other than that, the whole reason of this is it's, joining the real estate industry and being able to categorize how we flow with an everyday life of being able to function and be successful on producing, being able to start our business and knowing how. Not only that, the kids, I started when the kids were like super little. I'm pretty sure you did too. Alyssa was 4.5, my 24-year-old. She was 4.5 when she started with me, and it just kind of, trickled up. And I will tell you, it was probably one of the most difficult projects to do, to be able to know where to start, who to mentor with, and know how to fit in the kids' schedule. So Melissa, Araceli, Angela, how have you guys, and it's all a learning process. It does take years to be able to have like a set schedule. What can you say the difference between when you started and now, like how it looks now?
Well, when I started, it was more of a struggle to try to get into it, because you're trying to train, you're trying to mentor, you're trying to figure out how to do real estate, and then how to be at home, and how to, juggle the kid at the same time. My littlest is 11 years old right now, so my daughter was maybe about 2 years old. Yeah, so they were really little, and a lot of times I did have a lot of help, with family, my siblings. My grandmother would come and help me out. My husband would stay home with the kids, but it was hard to kind of balance it out. At first, it's like, okay, I'm part-time in it, and try to smooth into it, and then before you know it, there's no such thing as part-time if you really are working every day, because all of a sudden it's like 50 hours a week on these, so.
Did you hear that? And there's really no such thing as part-time.
If you're working every day, it picks up for you. But it was definitely now my kids are just, they understand all the verbiage. They know real estate. They know, you sold the house, but when's the closing?
Did the appraisal come in? Did it come in at value?
So it's helped a lot. They all contribute to real estate. They understand when I have a showing. They understand, okay, you know what, we're out here, doing something as a family, but you know what, let me go and swing by and show this house really quick. They're like, oh man, really good.
And then one turns into 2, and then 2 into 3, and then they're still in the car.
Yes.
You learn to carry iPads.
There you go. You carry the iPads, you carry the snacks. If you could tell us, Araceli and Angela, what is in a real estate, a mom's, this is all about women today. What's in your car on an average daily basis?
I have water, I have trash, iPads, definitely iPads.
Yeah.
And always extra change. Always, you have to have that extra change, just in case you need to stop by and get them a water, a candy, or something to keep them wanting to continue to go with you, to go to showing. I always charge your AirPods, because we're going on a drive. They love music, and they all love different types of music. So, they all carry their AirPods, and we're good to go. They always ask me, where are we going? Are we going West Side, Far East? Because they like those long drives.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah. They love the long drives.
Gosh, once upon a time, my kids did too. Now they're like, where are you going? You're lying to me. We're going, no, I'm staying. That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
Why are you dressed like that?
Why are you dressed like that? Why are you wearing that shirt?
I'll feed you after the showing.
I know.
Like, okay, right?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. You go with me.
I wish we should start taking pictures so we could show you what they look like in the car after a long day. What do you think, Angela? The same thing too when it comes to us being soccer parents and so forth. Man, I used to have a change of clothes all the time. Like 3 pairs of clothes, 3 pairs of shoes.
At least a pair of shoes. They get muddy, they get dirty. Sometimes you have to go from soccer practice to a showing.
Jacket.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like, I want to express, like, a lot of our kids are in sports. So when you're like timing a showing and they have like practice on the opposite side of town and you're showing on the east side, how does that work or interplay, or does it even work?
You just have to try to really fit it in. Make sure that you have gas the day before. Just make sure, sometimes I've driven to the west side to go drop them off at practice, come to the northeast to go show, and then go back, pick him up in time, grab some food for him so that he has food for after practice. And I know we carpool sometimes, so it's like, okay, I have to be back and wait for them. And, you have to make it work, because your first job is being a mom, it's being a wife, and then it's your job. but you really want to make sure that your clients feel like they're your only job. So, you just have to make it work, and you have to make sure that you're prepared for everything, So,
Which I do want to take a minute to thank like the soccer community. I mean, I know when I started getting really, really busy, some of the coaches and some of the soccer parents would help, stay with the kids or keep an eye on them or pick them up or bring them, you drop them off and then they would bring them home for us. So I owe a lot to some of the soccer parents.
I owe a lot, yes. With the panel here, like we have helped each other so much. Some of our kids play on the same team. And it's just been, reach out to those moms because they are willing to help you. Like if you're stuck at a showing here or, maybe I'm free that day, you kind of just like mix it up a little bit, like on carpool Wednesdays, you carpool Thursdays, whatever it is, and it really, really works out. So you're absolutely right, Melissa. When it comes to that, the El Paso community has the moms have come in and helped us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit how you incorporate. Let's do this. How do you wake up every morning, Melissa? Let's get deep and raw into this. Like, what is your daily schedule look like?
I sleep to my left, leg out.
I wake up like this.
I wake up like y'all wake up.
Tell us how your day is prepared in the morning.
Well, right now, I mean, even with the whole year of the pandemic,
Yes.
it's kind of been, a little bit more newer to try to adjust with it too, because, you have days where, okay, we're on a schedule, the kids get up, you got to take them to school, you go to the workout, this and this and that, you have like a routine. And then all of a sudden, like there's they take a vacation almost every 2 months. You're like, really? Already again?
Yeah.
And so you have to like reorganize your whole schedule, re-routine everything. So, but I mean, the kids are my priority all the time. My husband, I get him up, we make coffee for each other, we sit down, we talk about what our daily schedule is or how it looks like, and then we coordinate with each other as far as like, I'll work, the morning or the kids have practice today. So together, me and my husband kind of get together and talk about what we're gonna do today, and be able to prepare or face that day as it goes. But,
I like that. I do. That's a pretty good night's morning. What about you, Araceli? How does your day look like in the mornings?
Okay, well, it's very nice. My husband's the alarm clock because he gets up very early.
Our husband,
He's gone by 6 a.m, so I know, okay, now it's my time to get up. And we own another business, so
nice.
that one there's no days off. Okay,
Mhm.
so I started thinking to myself now. For a while, I wasn't taking care of my health, just physically. So that's my first thing. I go work out.
good.
That's and clear my head, and I'm just there to focus on myself. When I come back, feed the kids, they're already up, and feed them, talk to them for a little bit, and then start looking at my schedule. So it kind of runs really nice. It runs smooth. My husband's done by probably 11, 12, and then that's when we kind of coordinate. Okay, I'm going to go do showing. Sometimes I drag him with me. Okay, come on, let's go. He's my chauffeur. I call him my
All the
chauffeur.
time you try to
I depend so much on him.
I
I depend so much on him.
Me
Or sometimes
too.
I just hand him a list of addresses. Can you map them out for me?
Yes.
And he's so good at that, and he just hands them, okay, here they are. Schedule them from this time to this house. This is how much it takes to get to this one. He just does all that for me. He's really good. He's
Good
very
for
organized.
him. Do you
Oh,
hear?
yeah.
You need to get your men. We're gonna have a podcast on the men who need to step it up.
The man behind the scenes.
The men behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And how about you, Angela? How does your morning look? And I know it's going to be different for all of us, and kind of the same because of the pandemic, and we're just so ready for these kids to go back to school. I am. I'm done.
Me
For
too.
sure. I'm going in the towel.
The kids
So for me, mine starts the day before. I have to know what is on our schedules the day before, because a lot of things get thrown in last minute. James and I are both realtors, so things get changed around, or you have set schedules, and then somebody wants to show, somebody got pre-approved, a new house came on the market. So we always try to plan the night before. What do you have going on? If he has Bible study or gym or whatever, what I have. So we talk about that and kind of see, the kids have appointments or whatever. This past year we did homeschool, which we can check that off the list. So we homeschooled them and we're ready for them to go back to school. So this past year was a lot of, and mostly because I couldn't have them in front of the computer all the time because it was just us. It was a lot of bring your work with you, bring your work with you. You have all your work. I'm checking, as at a red light, let me check your work, or, but they were great. They were great in managing everything, you know, and helping with everything that was going on. So, but we're done with homeschool, so we kind of plan out what they're gonna do, what tasks they have. They have a lot of soccer camps and other things going on for the summer, so make sure that those things are done. I go for a walk first thing in the morning, get that out of the way, and then come back home, make sure the kids are up and fed and ready, and then plan out if I have showings, coordinate with James, and then see what else. You know, there's always things that come up. Either we're reorganizing our office, or we're moving things around, or we're planning marketing things, or we're meeting with people. So just making sure that I've made time for all those things.
Absolutely. So those are like the pinpoints that what is, I always mention this, is what is productive. What's the difference between being productive and being busy? And usually when you have a calendar set in front of you, you know, and you are being productive on the things that are going to be accomplished within the days or the weeks or the months or even the year, I feel is like ridiculously important. So planning the day before really works out for Edgar and I. He hates it, and I know you do, but it's like calling him in the office like a principal. I'm like, Edgar, come to my office, please. And it's like at home. So he'll come into the office, and I'm like, we are writing this down for the day, you know, of course, for the week. We get the dates in line, and we write them on a whiteboard. I'm still super old-fashioned. It's hard for me at times to, everybody tells me, why don't you just use the calendar on your phone, or, right? And to me, I know I have to step up. I really do have to step up. But what works for me is writing down things and writing down on a huge whiteboard. So I have them all over my office, and I have them here in the office, and it just helps me. Like if it's not written in your calendar, I really feel it doesn't exist. So it has to be in your calendar if it doesn't exist. So just a little tidbit, when you get a calendar, we usually Edgar and I, first quarter, or it's gonna be the last quarter that we start planning like a December, end of December for the year. What we like to do is get the 12 months in front of us and then start planning the vacations, right? First. Vacations are very important in a woman's life.
Absolutely.
A woman's vacation means everything. You get that, Min? Oh, they're probably watching, huh? You think so? Okay.
No.
So long story short, you're gonna at least you talk to your family, 2 or 3 vacations, maybe, you know, and then maybe some alone time with the husband, like you want to go to Vegas here or wherever, and you mark those off. That's normally what I do. And then it's hard to say about with the pandemic though, that one went kind of rocky because we didn't know what to expect. Like the kids were literally like game over. No practice, no nothing, and that was hard. It was actually freed us up a little bit because they were just at home. But we couldn't go anywhere. The family couldn't go anywhere. But at least when you're planning out those vacations or planning out those soccer tournaments or planning out those little date nights, you can put them in the calendar and then everything else falls into place. Like scheduling clients, scheduling events. Do you guys agree with that? On like maybe, do you guys do like some type of form of planning a calendar a year ahead, months ahead, or days ahead?
Well, I did have a really good tip from a mentor of mine in the past where it helped me organize myself as far as a mom too, because I was getting so busy or productive. I was getting, you know, a lot of work sometimes, and it was hard. My son was starting to go to kindergarten, and all of a sudden the teacher's calling me. You know, he's in the principal's office waiting for that to pick him up, and that time was getting hard for me to pick him up between showings or cut off somebody or, you know, finish up a contract that fast to get there and nobody else can pick them up. And sometimes, you know, not everything goes as scheduled. So it was getting really crazy. So it was like, my son was probably like 5 going to kindergarten, and he told me, Melissa, you know, okay, what time do you pick up your son? At 2:15. Okay, from 2 to 3:30, schedule yourself. So you schedule yourself out for like picking up kids. And that when they were younger, I had to schedule myself out. And then now for soccer practice, because I started to miss all my daughter's soccer practices. I started to miss all her tournaments. there was a tournament back in August when they won the championship up there in Austin, and I missed it because I was too busy here working, holding open houses, making a sacrifice. But I haven't seen her win that championship again, and it eats me alive on a daily basis because that's one tournament that that they won, and they were
we
all
won't get
together.
that time
So
back.
yeah, and
We
their
will get
kids
that
are
time
gonna grow. And then I had another co-agent had told me one time that your kids are so young, Melissa. I mean, I went to a lot of amazing agents, and I've gotten a lot of advice from a lot of agents now. They're older, and there was a Century 21 family there too, who a lot of them would tell me, like, your kids are small right now, enjoy them because work is always gonna be here. Real estate's always gonna be here. People are always gonna start buying. And I go, but your kids are only gonna be young. You're only gonna go to those practices every once in a while. And so to me, like, ever since that happened, I realized, hold on a minute. My prioritization started going off, even though I was getting busy. But scheduling yourself has helped me a lot to where, okay, my daughter's games are here, my kid's son's practices are here, and I'll try to schedule myself. And then again, when it's not possible to, you have to. Literally, there's some out of town clients you have to do, but at least okay, that's one time out of the 3 times of practice, or 1 2 times. So there's always flexibility. But
that's better.
scheduling is
Setting
so-
the schedule is so important, and you're exactly right on the button. Is I always go by this: God, family, business. God, family, business. That's always been my life motto. Is God comes first in everything, and then my family. And I love my clients to the dearest ever, but they will come in a calendar like, okay, I'm booked here, but I can meet you 5 or 6. Do you agree, Araceli, on that?
Agree.
How does
I call my calendar a floating calendar.
love it.
It's not a set in stone.
Yes.
There's always flexibility. I always put what my kids want me to. I always tell them, what would you like me to be? I mean, she goes, okay, let's go to the park. I have girls, so I have ballet. I have cheerleading, I have track, I have totally different, and it's me. My husband's more with the boys, football, the whole thing, right? So I'm always there. I've always been there. That's the reason why I had always done accounting. That's what I had my degrees on. And I always worked for somebody, and always clocking in, clocking out, and I missed a lot of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now with real estate, that's the reason why I'm here, because I can be with my kids. I can schedule all their activities.
I love it.
So that's what I do. They're my priority. My husband's my priority. My vacations are my priority. And after that, everything. And it's been good because it hasn't been stressful. Everything just kind of flows in very perfect.
You see, guys, so in the beginning, just listen to these women on how they take their business, but family comes first. Do you agree, Angela, on that? How does your workflow look like that too? You're pretty much on task with the kids too.
Yeah, absolutely. James always says that I'm much better at it. I think that's just kind of a cop-out sometimes. He's like, you're better at it.
James, are you watching? If you're watching, you better give us a thumbs up. She's right.
He does always say that.
Yeah, he's always like, she's better at that. So, you said, you mentioned the whiteboards. I've tried that. If it's not I have to take it with me. Like, I can't take it off the wall.
All right, guys, we don't want to see Angela with the big whiteboard.
So I have to carry my big planner, and mine is kind of like the master plan because it has every practice, every meeting, every PTA meeting, every appointment for James, for me. It has all the medical stuff like dentist appointments, doctor appointments. It has everything in there. So I just keep that with me. But we schedule our vacations out. We know where we're going. Obviously, anniversaries and things like that are scheduled far out. That way, because your clients are always going to come up or come into that schedule, and you're going to have to fit them in. So if you have kind of a set schedule, when you have time. And then you were talking about making yourself an appointment. That's huge.
Yes.
Because I was always inserting myself in the time that I had available. And with going to the gym, it took me probably 3 or 4 months to switching. Okay, today at 10 works, tomorrow at 12 works, the next day at 4 works. It was just a constant mess for both of us, for my trainer and I, to fit time in.
Yes.
But once I started saying, 3:30 is my time, and I schedule myself from 3 to 5 is my time. Like, I don't have any appointments at that time. That's the time for me to go work out, come home. get something to eat, and then I'm free before and I'm free after. And even with the school, you know, when we were homeschooling, by that time my kids were done with school, and by that time I needed a break.
Yes.
So it was the perfect time. But just things like that, you know, we schedule vacations out, because if not, you know, you get so busy that you haven't taken a vacation in 6 months and you're like, what have I been doing? Or, you know, I haven't spent time, you know, and just with the practices too, you know, if it's nice because, you know, we have 2 kids, so I take one kid and he takes another, or I'll take them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and he'll take them Tuesday, Thursday.
Correct.
And what ended up kind of really working well when the kids were at home was, you know, he had Monday, Wednesdays, and I had Tuesday, Thursdays. So all my appointments got set in for Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I still have my nursing license, and so I do assessments here and there just to kind of keep it going. And then Monday, Wednesdays was James's day to schedule all his appointments. And then on Fridays was our day that we did stuff together, either business planning or, you know, home stuff or family stuff. You know, that was our day together to kind of get those things done. So that's how our schedule kind of worked. And then if there was ever a day that we had to switch, then we would try to figure that out.
Yeah, and it's so super helpful. Not a lot of well, you know, some of us women are individual agents. Some of us have a husband and wife. When Edgar joined me a couple of years ago, it really relieved me in so many ways. Like it just really did, because now I could, you go show the houses, or, you know, can you go do this, go put a lockbox, because I was trying to be Wonder Woman and do everything at that time. But now that he joined with us, now my daughter has joined with us, it's kind of relieved me in a lot of ways. And it brought me back to basics, because Edgar takes off at 4 in the morning to the gym. He's my alarm clock when I hear him opening the door. I'm like, oh my God, I better get up. Like, because, like, he's probably think I'm a loser just laying there. Like, although if he could, he would let me sleep all day. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. But I wake up usually about, when he gets in, about 6:37ish, and then that's my cue to get up. And what I've really learned in this business is, if you don't put yourself first before a lot of things in life, you cannot, if you don't pour into yourself, you can't pour into others for the rest of the day. And that really, really cleared my mind in a lot of ways, because I didn't want to be like, oh my gosh, so miserable, starting my day miserable, and pouring that into my husband, pouring that into my kids and my agents and my business. So, I mean, I really feel that these women can agree with me, and women that are out there, you have to put yourself first, no matter what. You are important, your health is important, so by that, I really take the time to just think about meditation. You could even do like a prayer. You could do a walk, like Angela said, in the morning. It doesn't have to be like heavy weights or anything like that. Just do something by yourself, something alone for yourself. And I really try to knock that out like in the early morning with a good read. I usually come into the office right around 10:30, 11, and then my day just takes off. Like I try not to get home till like 5, 6 or whatever it is, because I feel if you work on yourself in the morning, everything else just flows. Do you guys agree with that? I mean, is that how you guys do your days, like with your clients after a certain time?
Yeah. No, that's
You do time block?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You time block.
Absolutely. Yes.
You guys all time block as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and I find, you know, most of our clients are available in the mornings anyway, so that's a perfect time for us to get everything situated for ourselves. You know, like you go to the gym, I go for a walk and do those things, you know, get ready, prepare things for, you know, sometimes I have dinner to cook, you know, things like that. That way, in the evenings when I get busy, when I'm not showing and stuff, it's everything's out of mess when I come home.
I think pretty much I take care of all the office stuff that I can do while being with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Phone calls, the paperwork, everything. So like Angela says, we're available for the evenings, the afternoons to be able to show our clients. So that's when it makes it a lot easier, less stressful. And you know, you took care of everything that you could in the morning, that you can just give your clients 100% in the afternoon.
Absolutely. Do you believe, and I believe, and the reason why I'm asking is, you have to have your family on board with you as well. They have to see your vision. They have to know what you're doing, what your goals are. And if you speak to all of your kids, and I'm going to go back a little bit. when I was with Keller Williams years ago, we went to what's called Bolts. Do you guys remember the Bolt that they have there? So I had been through like 4 Bolts with them. The very first one was in Lubbock. I was with the David Acosta team way back in the day. And we drove over there every Sunday to go to that like class on a Monday, and then we would drive back. There was this gentleman that was like teaching the Bolt class, and it all came down to scheduling and planning. At that time, like Melissa was saying, I put all my clients ahead of time. I didn't put any of the kids. I missed like every practice, every game, birthday parties, because I was used to it at the sheriff's office. I missed everything. I was like, I had the baby, and in 6 weeks I was back at the sheriff's office. So I would miss Thanksgiving, I would miss Christmas. So in real estate, I thought it was probably like the same thing. What I didn't realize is that I was missing these awesome times with my kids, like time that I would never ever be able to get back. So what the gentleman had taught us there in Bold, it opened my eyes because, you know, he said, doesn't it hurt to be missing those minutes with your kids? Like, where in the right mind are you missing? Like, people were literally saying they're missing everything. So, you know, what he did is he assigned us to go back home, write a letter to our kids. We wrote the letters, and then we brought them in and explained to them our vision. And since that day, they all got a whiteboard in their room. Not a whiteboard, it's a calendar board, those ones. Oh, yeah. And that was his assignment, and they all had their boards. We all wrote down our goals together. We all wrote down their practices together. We all wrote down their games and the things to do at home and the chores. And we've had it for over 8-9 years. Wow. So we've all come together to know what to expect. Have you guys done anything like that with your family?
Well, I was going to mention that too when you brought it up. I was like, communication with the family is a big thing. I mean, my CFO, my husband, I mean, he knows everything. When I'm, you know, what we're doing, we discuss, we overview again in the morning. But sometimes you get so busy to where you need to let the kids know too, where, okay, I'm not going to be able to make it to, you know, this session or this PTA meeting or to that practice. You know, call me at this time to remind me you need a ride because I need to help you get a ride or something like that. So letting them know how busy you are and letting them be part of your business is a big thing. And so my kids, you know, they've grown to know, okay, mom's got like back to back. She's not come home. You know, I Uber eat some food to the house or something like that. Or Kaylee, you know, can you make sopita for the kids? You know, so they all contribute a little bit and letting them know how busy you are this week because it varies, you know. There's days where you have back-to-back showings, and then there's days where everybody decided to cancel, or it got rained out or something, and you're at home. So, you know, it
like yesterday, I was so bored by myself.
It is, but I do have a calendar. You know, the calendar at home is one of those erase boards, and it's actually one of them for all of us. And I would also have a menu on the side because I'm so hard with getting, you know, food.
We're gonna talk about food right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes mine is a hot mess, right, Alyssa? You know it, girl. Like, nobody even puts sopita. Like, I'm like, what? Why are you waiting for me? At least
I know.
Exactly.
Yes. Like, you just
I don't know. I just get right.
Yeah.
What do we need?
Yeah, I just want to get
Yeah, they wait for you. And it's just like
ridiculous.
Yeah, but it was good for having that one calendar so that all the kids can go to that one spot and know what is like, okay, the dentist is this day, or, you know, practice for Kaylee and Ian and Isaiah, they will all have, you know, their days. So we work around that. That's kind of like a family calendar. So that kind of helped for us as well.
What's up to you guys on a Sunday?
Same family. Yes, I like to know what everybody's doing. And then from there, that's why I call mine floating, because if I have something there, it'll get moved. Always for my kids. Everything will get moved for them. So yes, I like to know ahead of time. My husband's really good. I have a huge whiteboard. He's the one that keeps up with all my stuff. And I know what calls to answer right then and there, and I know what calls can wait.
Absolutely.
So that's how I plan. I know if we're watching a movie, okay, we can wait 2 hours, and then they're gone and doing their thing. Now I can pick up the phone, but I will never miss out on anything for the family to answer phone calls or emails, or I know how to put my phone down.
Good for you.
You see, that's good. That's good. And that's the tricky part, is when to put your phone down. And it's okay. Sometimes it's okay. It's put it down.
And you
That's
know what
another
it is
Edward session.
I call it
Right
getting the tribe, like Angela, like Melissa, those are the agents you wanna be with. Those are the agents you wanna interact with because they understand family.
Absolutely.
You
And don't
know?
be afraid, because what I've learned, Angela, I don't know if you can agree, is your clients will understand, like I was saying, they will know. Hey, like now I can say I take my Sundays off. I don't show at all on Sundays. But I'm able to do that because I control my calendar, right? I'm sorry I am not available on Sunday, but how is Monday from 4 or 5? Pick one, and usually, you know what, let's do tomorrow at 4. With this crazy market though, it's been kind of crazy too. So if you don't jump on those showings right away, you may lose an opportunity. So that's when the floating schedule can come into place, where at times you may have to jump and make that exception. So has it been different?
After church, we're like, okay, we got one house, guys.
I
So we
know,
all go
just
to
one.
And you choose your love.
Yeah.
You gotta bribe them. You have to bribe the family.
Do you agree it's kind of changed with the COVID? Like you have to be like, we gotta go
Yes.
see it really quick, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
let's move.
absolutely. Or you're like, oh, it's on the west side. We're gonna go eat on the west side anyway. Where do you want to go?
Oh, yeah.
It's worth the trip. So you really have to make sure that you're taking that time, taking that day, but at the same time, making sure that you're making time for your clients.
Absolutely.
They'll understand.
They will understand. What else can we add that you think is important to let the audience know when juggling real estate, juggling family, and juggling your husband? Let's talk about the husband part, because there's times where I'm just like, because we're husband and wife, right? You're a husband and wife team. You're semi-husband and wife team, right? You're semi,
Yes.
because your
Yes,
husband
yes,
does some of the things
Yes.
that we need help with, your husband too. What do you guys do to say, hey, that's enough, like it's date night time. Like let's go to the movies. Well, we can't do movies now. Go eat dinner, go have a cocktail. What are some of the things you do?
Like I'm always going first.
We always have tickets. My husband and I, we make it. It's every weekend. We do.
Well, okay, we don't need to follow on a Sally's schedule here.
We do.
Good for you.
And we always make time for ourselves.
Good.
Always. We've been married for 30 years.
Yay.
So, I mean, I take care of the grandbabies too. I didn't mention that. My daughter's a nurse. My son-in-law's a detective, so they need my help.
Yeah.
And so I take care of my grandbabies. So by the end of the week, I'm tired. So he's the one that don't cook, don't clean, no nothing. Let's leave. Let's go.
I like
So
that.
yes, he's very supportive. I mean, Angela can tell you, very good man.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
yes, yes, yes.
wonderful.
He doesn't cook though. That's the only downside. He
Well,
doesn't
Edgar
know how to
cooks, but he
cook.
cooks a lot of chicken. Like if he cooks 4 days out of the week, we're having chicken. Like
That's okay.
chicken.
It's cooking.
Hey,
Hey, I took care of it.
take care of it, you just gotta eat that, that's it.
No, Abraham, no. He says, I'll do anything you want, just don't ask me to cook.
Okay, yeah. What about you guys?
We take date night. We actually have bought this because there's only so many things you can do. You like go have a drink or go to the movies, or like you said, go eat. So we bought this book. It's like a couple's date book, and so you literally have to scratch it off and do whatever it says. So that way it kind of like spices it up. It's kind of interesting. It's silly stuff, some of it. I think the last one that we scratched off was you have to go walk around the park and you can't talk to each other for the first 20 minutes or something. And you have to hold hands. And then the other one was you have to push each other in a swing when you're done. But the person that's in the swing can't talk. Only the person that's pushing can talk, and you have to listen. Yeah, so just things like that, and then you can take a picture and like kind of write about it or whatever. But it's just kind of interesting because you're married for a long time, and you kind of it's just the same thing. Why did
You
you
have
never,
to change it, yeah.
But it's really interesting.
I just tell Edgar, I need to go to Vegas. Can you please take me to
Oh,
Vegas?
there you go.
It's time to land it all
Yeah.
out. I'm gonna be a different person there. My name will be Jackie, and I don't know.
Nobody knows me.
Absolutely.
It's kind of just like, and then come back and then back to realization.
I feel like this is like my therapy session. I love
Edgar.
it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna. So, what else can we add to this podcast that somebody could take with value today? Juggling a life. We actually basically in real estate, we're creating a life by design. So each and every one of us have different visions, different goals. We have different crazy things that we do on a daily basis. So I know we talked about working out in the mornings, meditating, reading books, prospecting. When do you guys have that time to prospect for new clients? Do you guys prospect for new clients? Do you guys time block? Let's talk a little bit about the real estate business on how people or women out there are wanting to generate business on a business level in a daily schedule, within a daily time frame. When do you guys get that done?
Well, before this whole COVID pandemic thing, I used to drop off my kids at school, drop them off, drive by. I made it a point where I would get down, talk to moms, talk to parents, and then real estate kind of falls in there. So you prospect, without even knowing. Wherever you go, make it a habit to talk to people.
Correct.
Just bring it up, and because we're so involved in so many activities.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's instead of just being on the phone all day, there's other ways of doing it where it just comes natural because you're already there.
So that's a very good point, is like you're a walking billboard for yourself. Oh, Sylvie, thank you so much for always being there and supporting us. You are just so amazing. You're from Montreal, and we're always so happy to have you watching us. I'm going to fly you in so you could come sit right here next to us. And we can have tea or a cocktail. That'd be nice. But anyways, on going a little bit further, where was I getting at? I lost my train of thought. On the business, we're a walking billboard. So every day, moms, we do a little bit more than the men. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe.
As you should, Queen.
As you should. I don't know. Well, we go to the grocery shopping. We go, to pick up the kids. Like Araceli was saying, with the teachers. When you're ordering things, I know it's hard with the COVID. You usually get off instead of going in the drive-in. What else can you say? Facebook, or you can do videos, tutorials. So the type of lead generating that you do is what? Through your sphere or through Facebook? What are some ways that we could give the women who want to kickstart their business in maybe not lead generating, but while they're getting their kids and their family, everything together?
What are your contacts?
Yeah.
You have a phone with maybe 1,000 calls. Start contacting, start touching base. I know what I do is, sometimes our kids have a lot of contacts, a lot of friends, their moms, touch base, see how they're doing. I call and, lend a hand here and there, see what they're up to, touch base on Facebook. So, just kind of keeping in contact with a lot of people. So I do work a lot on my spheres as referrals too. So, and that's how it is. As long as you keep in contact, you stay top of mind, you just drop a line. It really does help, but there's a communication back and forth. Sometimes, they want to see somebody interact with you, and the personal interaction sometimes helps a little bit more than just, hey, on a comment or something like that. So that's
especially after COVID too, right?
Yeah,
Like you don't know what place, like, just reaching out to somebody saying, hey, how are you? How's everything going? And you just want to be personally there for that person. Do you agree? Like just touching, lending a hand, like, hey, we're here for you. We're here for you. That can somewhat lead to generating business as well in the future.
Absolutely.
I think I found that a lot of people that I've supported over the years automatically wanted to support me in my new business. Like businesses or people that I had supported, your hairstylist, your nail person, your eyebrow person, all those people that you've been going to for the last couple of years, they are excited for your new growth, So they were always like, oh, drop off your business cards, do you have any information? Do you have anything I can have here? And supporting my business. And so I thought that was nice.
Yeah, I do find that nice too. And, the more you get involved with your community, the more wherever you take the kids, it could be a waitress, it could be a waiter, it could be a restaurant, it could be anybody, always share yourself and what you do inside of the business. Everything else will follow along. And we've actually created a lot of good relationships with restaurant owners and just people in general, because, we take the time to go eat at their restaurants, support their local business, things like that. So those are ways that you could lead generate besides being on the phone, women, right? Or women in real estate. Any questions?
Helped me out to get was, I guess, juggling the home life as well. As moms, we feel like we have to be there to make food, and clean. So I had told Gilbert one time I was getting so busy, I was like, I can either be mopping the whole house and cleaning everything, or I can be generating business or selling a house or writing up a contract. So it took, it took a lot out of me, because I'm like, I could do this, but when I had somebody help me out with the house, it helped so much more too, because it's happy home.
Stress relief.
It's a big stress relief. You could be cleaning the house at the same time selling a house. So, and I do a lot of things to the ladies that
Is
help
it
me
worth
clean
your
the house.
hour,
Yeah.
right? Because we are XYZ amount per dollar.
Mhm.
So at times, you're absolutely right, Melissa. Having somebody come in and help you clean the house,
Yeah.
or do the laundry, right, or do those little things, does take a big
Yeah.
task out
And
of
then
your
my
schedule.
husband, my family, all the kids help out a lot. But my husband works full time too. The kids all are schooling and then soccer and then studying. And then you're in between trying to juggle them and then juggle the house too. So it does help. So I know it's a lot of people feel like, okay, where am I? Am I failing here as a mom because I can't clean, or I can't make the food on time? And you gotta be flexible, because it ranges. I mean, like I was saying, you have a routine and all of a sudden they're out of school and then your routine changes, or pandemic hits and then you have to change your
I
routine
think that's what
again.
we have to do,
So
is get rid
it's
of that
just-
mom guilt.
Yes,
And be
it
able
is very big,
to
yeah.
transfer help.
Because that mom
Yeah,
can
I think
hold
that's
you
all we
back
need.
from being
Yeah.
able to push yourself to that next level. I know for a long time, being 18 years, I tried to do just part-time because I was trying to raise the kids and be with them. And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I'm taking them with me. So they started going with me, and Isaiah was 3 years old, and they'd be at open houses. I tried to network a little bit more with their open houses, realtor tours. And yes, a lot of people met my children after a while, and a lot of the real estate community started to know me as, that's your kids. Those are the kids.
I think they did that for
and
a
it's
little
okay
while.
because
Yeah.
they would tell, that's where they started giving advice to how they were able to grow out of it and move on, and it did help.
You know what you mean? Yeah, and that's a really good point on hiring somebody to help you either cook or clean. Another good point that you made, Araceli, is mom guilt. It is true, because when I used to take off on vacations and be like, oh my god, I feel so guilty, like the kids aren't here. And I was like, hell, wow, what are you talking about? Give me my Corona. I was like,
Yeah.
they should be here at the
Uh-huh.
beach. And you feel guilt, but it's stuff that it's time that you do need for yourself, Yeah, but it is
And to be
challenging.
able to delegate duties. I mean, to be able to be available for everybody.
Yeah.
Because if not, we're just gonna not be there, and we're just gonna be grouchy. So we
Be
need to learn to
grouchy.
say,
You don't want a grouchy mom, so especially me with the
Oh, wow.
girls.
And I know that. Sometimes like, Melissa, we're doing this tonight. Or Melissa, we're going here. Or, I'm taking you here. And sometimes we like to be spontaneous, And so sometimes we'll be like, you know what? Can we go camping? We as a family, we like to go camping, we like to hike. And even Father's Day took us to Quaco Tanks, and we went up there, took the kids, and for the day, got sunburned, but it was enjoyable. I was just like, is my cell phone service? Where the hell trying to get service?
And
So
when you
it's good when there's no service, because it kind of helps with that.
Yes, and when you have those spontaneous moments, just reach out to maybe a real estate mom or a good friend and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna be out a couple of days. It's a spontaneous trip. Do you mind helping me show 4 or 5 houses? I'll give you $50, $80 a door, or whatever it is. And trust me, people will help you. So there are colleagues out there that don't mind helping you, as long as us women come together and know our struggles and our strengths. Right.
I keep an open network with a lot of realtors too, and that way, because everybody needs a break sometimes, and sometimes they've got to go to out of town in emergencies and stuff. And I know I've helped some realtors with nothing. I don't need a gift card. I don't need a referral. I mean, you know what? Because at one point it might happen to me, and all I would need is you to have my back at that time. And I think
I love
a lot of relationships could develop with networking like that with other agents, when you can have that support within each other and not feel like, oh, okay, well, if I have to ask another agent, I have to go and cut my,
or they're
my
expecting
commission
something.
and,
Yeah, but if you have an
it's
office
so
and those
hard.
women are there, more likely, we help each other out here in this
Because I know
office.
you've been working on so hard on having that client, and you show him that one house that he has to see on the day that you're out of town, and you're like, oh no, that one house that somebody shows you, I'm going to cut my commission half. It doesn't have to be that way, and I think that's where,
We're just not thinking
it's just like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's going to happen to all of us at one point. You're going to be the one in that position where you're like, hey, you know what, I'm out of town. Can you help my client open up a door or two and, just kind of guide them away, or we can team up on this.
Support it, guys. Support your
Support.
real
Oh,
estate
yeah.
women, especially here in EP and in Montreal. To my friend Sylvia out there. And I really think we hit some really, really good points. Is there any questions? No questions? Just
No.
a bunch of viewers.
Just those.
Awesome. What can we add to wrap it up at the end of the day, girls? I know you guys are all rocking it in every pillar of business, family, health. We talked about what else? Business. What can we add for the viewers before we call it a day that they can go home with, take note? My tip would be get yourself a calendar. We're midway through the year and look how fast it's going. It is just super, super quick. So if you haven't wrote, it's not too late to write down any goals, small tasks from 6 months from here to December. Start planning at least maybe 1 or 2 little getaways, either with your husband, with your kids, and it doesn't have to be a big vacation. It could be something so spontaneous here in El Paso, driving Trans Mountain. Where else have you
That's
guys
what I
gone?
did. My girls, they wanted to go shopping.
Yes,
But they said, Mom, here, pack your bags, let's go to Scottsdale.
let's go.
On
On
the
the
weekend.
Yes,
Let's go, we shopped, and we came back.
and you come
You
back.
can go hang out by
Yeah. So sometimes you're just gonna kind of spruce it up a little bit, and it doesn't have to be this ridiculous trip. It could just be a drive. So make little things like that in your calendar. I promise you this, you'll see results. Be consistent with it. Maybe wake up 15, 20 minutes earlier on your daily schedule that you do, 6:30 instead of 7, so forth like that. Get up in the morning, start working on yourself, maybe doing the walks. I love the walks, to be honest with you. I started walking again in the evenings, and oh my God, it's amazing. It just feels good. I go to bed pretty early at times. So I go for my walk, and then I just write down my things I need to do the next day, and I call it a night. So start doing a little bit things differently and purposely. And I promise you this, you will see some type of results, but you've got to stay consistent with it. Okay. What can you add?
Treating your business and involving your family in part of your business, bring them part of that business and let them know, be communicative and be grateful, like we were saying, taking them out to eat, doing things together as a family. But when your kids feel they're part of something, then it makes that so much easier for you to not have that mom guilt or, be able to go out and do more things. Or you know what? You might just want to be doing more and you work harder. So and you work harder because of them and they support you and they feel a part of it. And when they feel a part of it, it helps you be more too. So
Involve your kids. Involve your family and your kids.
I'm grateful to my husband. I mean, without him, he's my rock.
I'm
So
grateful for you too, honey.
I don't think I can anywhere without my babies.
Yeah.
Exactly, absolutely. I'm the same, You haven't set your goals, you're still on time, revise your goals, get your family involved in those goals.
Okay.
What is it that they want? Okay, well, if you want this, well, mommy needs to go out and do a little bit more of this. So you're gonna help me, I need you to help.
Yeah.
My granddaughter, as soon as she sees me printed, Grandma, I'll go get it for you. So she runs and gets papers and, so she feels involved. She's only 6 years old. So if you get them involved, they will always be there and learn to ask for help. Ask for help.
Ask. Don't be afraid.
Ask.
Yeah,
Ask
don't be
for help.
afraid because then you never know. You want to just stay there complacent and just like there wondering and figuring. So what can you give us, Angela, for the bank?
Yeah, that's so true. My son is always, he's my little co-pilot, so he'll put all his addresses in and make sure that my phone is charged and make sure that I have everything ready, put my water by the door, and then James is always, same thing, checking on, if you got an email from this when your appraisal came in, did you look at this? Printing things out for me and things like that. So if you're involving them, if they're part of your journey, if they're part of your goals, then it's like a team effort.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing was, just have grace for yourself. Have grace for yourself and have grace for those in your household. Because at the end of the day, nobody's dying. Everything's fine. If it doesn't happen today, you can take care of it tomorrow. So just give yourself a little bit of grace.
Absolutely.
And if we have to eat bologna sandwiches, we eat bologna sandwiches.
And you eat the bologna and you cook the beans if you have to cook the beans.
Right?
Cheese and rice. Yeah, there's just times where you have to eat sandwiches,
Yeah.
you know, and spaghetti's the quickest thing for us.
Uh-huh.
Everybody loves it, and you call it a day.
My
You
kids
know?
said that, they're like, Mom always makes spaghetti.
we do the one,
Yeah.
but until then, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you. Sylvie, again, thank you for sticking by us. And these women are very powerful women here in El Paso, and we are here always a step of the way. You can contact Melissa, Araceli, Angela. I reached out to these women, and they were ready to rock and roll. And that's what you call momentum. Their energy is on fire, and they don't hesitate to help other people out. So I want to thank each and every one of you women for coming in on their busy schedule, on their floating schedule, because I did get them very spontaneously. And I want to wish everybody an awesome 4th of July week, right? It's going to be 4th of July weekend. We will be in Mexico tomorrow. So we did write that one on the calendar.
Nice.
Yeah. So I want to see you guys in other little places that we can enjoy and see, and follow each and every one of us on Facebook and social media. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.